Okay, so I'm going to give you a very quick demo because I gave you a demo last week on the tape. I'm going to give you a quick one this one. And as I said, I will show you in a few minutes how I approach this and how I work through this to give it the shading. So again, the easiest thing is to work from another drawing. Don't choose a cartoon and don't choose an illustration. You need a real drawing. And as I said, an old master drawing is great, especially any of the ones that I put on the PowerPoint or the handouts. Or again, go to Google and you can choose any one of those old master drawings that you see. All right, so remember, the first thing is to start out with an oval, figure out where the eye line is, where the nose line is. You gently put in where the mouth is, decide how much the head is looking up or down, and you block it in. That's always the first thing that you do, okay? Just to do it very quickly. All right, so now I have this. Two boys. This position, he's looking up. Look at that eye. Up, the nose up, the mouth up. Here, he's looking slightly down. So I set this up. The eye's looking down. Side line of the face is near the edge of the face. So here's my oval. I can't see the whole oval, but basically that would be the oval, and it's on the side. And here's the oval for the other one, and it's on the side. The lines are going up. The nose is going up. The mouth, that, and the center line is towards the side of the oval because he's looking from a side view. So we put it in, we block it in, we block in the lines over here, and over here where the eyes are. We throw the eyes in quickly. Of course, we're going to adjust this, but you watch carefully where the eyes are. You can throw in the nose on the line. You see the bottom part of his nose here because he's looking up at us, and we see the mouth, something like this, moving in here. We see a little bit of the underside of the chin because we're looking up at him, and his head is tilted up. This one, on the other hand, is tilted down. So here's the oval, the eyes are here. Kid's looking like this, looking like that. Side view of the nose, right? Mouth coming up like this, follow the mouth line, put it in, chin, and before you know it, you'll have the two faces down. All right, so it's really good to set up, try to get your guidelines first as to where the nose is running in the face, how the eyes are looking, nose and mouth. Try it. You'll be fine, especially if you copy from a drawing, because the drawing you can see the lines and the shading. Okay, I'm going to show you now, briefly, how I approach this particular drawing, this young lady here. It's a very brief demo of how I did it. I'll explain it to you as I go along. I started out the same way though, and you'll see that with the eye line, nose line, the lips, the tilt of the head. All right, so let's go watch that video for a minute. Okay, first thing you do is set up the lines, which you can see I'm doing now. I had already done that, of the face from the photograph, all right? And then what I did was throw in the eyes, throw in the nose and the mouth, very lightly, very briefly, and now I'm erasing the guidelines. So I get more of a human type of look to it, all right? Erase all those guidelines. I don't need them now because I'm happy with how the features are set up. So I'm refining right now, getting rid of the guidelines, and there. She's looking a lot more human without the guidelines. Okay, so there we go. I like using that wide white eraser that erases best for me. All right, around there. And, you know, as I'm erasing, I'm checking to see what I like or don't like. Now, in this instance, to spare you boredom of watching me shade, I had started to shade already. And what I'm doing is going to where the darks are. I put my darks in first, and the darks are around the side of her face, the upper lip, and her eyes. So I like to see things in terms of a dark light pattern. So that's what I put in first. Now I'm putting in the medium tones. I'm still leaving the lights light. I'm not working on them, but I'm putting in the medium tones now. So after I do the guidelines, I put in the features, I start working with my dark pattern of shade. As I work with my dark pattern of shade, you will see a lot of the lines themselves disappear as they move into shadow, which should happen because really there's no such thing as a line. seriously, it's one shade next to another, all right? So I'm refining my shades right now. I have my darks in. I'm working on my mediums now around the nose, around the eyes. I work my way around the face. Right? I don't stick to one area. You have to work your way around. Now I'm going to start moving in on refining my medium tones and adding my lights in there. Again, all around. Working, working, working. If I feel I need to fix a feature as I'm doing that, that's fine. I'll do that. But I'm bringing out her cheek now, which is making it look a lot more like her. You can use your shading stick or your fingers, whatever you want to use to blend your shading. All right. That line that I just put down is going to blend more into her hair. You see me doing that? Again, because it's really one shadowy shape against another rather than a line. And that's what I'm doing right now. Just refining it and refining it and refining it. Again, working around all parts of the portrait. A little bit of a shadow there by the upper lip, eye. Okay. And adding the shadows and blending them properly really helps it look more like the person. Getting away from that linear look. That's why I said no cartoons. You want to do a real photograph, or again, an old master drawing makes it so much easier because you can see all the shading. And again, if you Google in old master drawings, you'll see a ton of them. Or use one from my PowerPoint. Do you see how much the shading refines? Now, this is just one way to attempt a portrait. It's a very easy way. There are other ways where people will simply work with shapes and shades and no lines at all. That's a little more advanced. Okay, but this is, I think, a fairly decent way to do it. I think you can follow along. Right, she's got that noticeable chin and that strong jawline, which I'm working on right now. I pull it out a little bit. But again, the line becomes a bit of a shadow, not a straight line. Okay, and you see, getting the light adjusted properly really helps it look more like the photograph. You can do the hair in as much detail as you want. I find it kind of boring, so I don't. I basically gesture in the hair. Okay, and you see, the more you work on it, the more it's going to look like her. Now, I believe I'm probably going to work on her eye a bit more. That's going to come around. Little collar of the dress. Putting that little dark line there helps. Moving in the hair a bit. Blending. Framing again. Noticing where the darks are, where the lights are, and where the medium tones are. Until you get it to a point where you're happy with it. All right? Nothing's going to be perfect, but you want to be happy with it. Hair is a matter of very tedious shading, dark to light. Which I kind of am not interested in. I want to get the general idea of the hair more than anything else. Okay. And there we go. We're starting to move towards the end of it. It'll take you as long as it takes you. It takes me a while to do this. But it's really nice and satisfying to be able to get something that you're happy with by the end of this process. Almost. Notice I use a lot of crosshatch lines when I'm shading. I move the shade in the direction of the area that I am working on, okay? Especially with the hair. I'm throwing in a little bit of a dark point here and there that sort of pulls it together also all around the face. Little trick. Okay. Remember, it's your creativity. Nothing's going to be exact or perfect, but your creativity of bringing out what you want to bring out in the portrait. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'll probably leave it at this point, and you'll see the complete finalized version on the PowerPoint. For now, take care. Be well.